Bay leaf. Did you know you could grow your own? I'll show you how. Bay leaf or bay laurel is a common kitchen spice. You use the leaves to flavor soups, stews, rice, all kinds of things. I'm Angela from Growing in the Garden. My garden is in Mesa, Arizona. I want to help you succeed, even if you're gardening in tough conditions. It's easy to grow, and how you grow it depends on where you live. It's native to the Mediterranean. It likes warm temperatures, so zones 8 through 10 can grow it outside in the ground. In cooler climates, grow it in a container. You'll need to bring it inside when it gets cold. The hardest thing about growing bay laurel is finding a transplant. If you find one at a local nursery, you're in luck. But if not, I'll teach you how to take a cutting so you can make your own. It's grown from softwood cuttings. So take a cutting, and then you're going to remove the leaves. So you want to remove all but the last couple of leaves, and then snip those leaves. And then you're going to cut it and put that fresh cut into rooting hormone and into the soil. Once you take your cutting, don't let it dry out. Get it potted up right away. The trick is to keep the humidity levels up while this is rooting. You'll also want to take several because about half of them aren't going to work, but the other half should work great. Keep an eye on the plants, keep it nice and humid, and you'll see roots start to form. After that, you'll see new growth, and then you can bump it up to a little bit larger pot. If you're planting in the ground, the best time to plant is in the spring or early fall. That gives the plant time to become established before the hot temperatures of summer or the cooler temperatures of winter. Keep an eye on your plants for the first 2 years. That's when they're most susceptible to damage from extremes in heat or cold. Once established, they can tolerate some frost. Some of the leaves or branches may brown and die back, but in the spring, it will come back and be good as new. If it does suffer some damage, once temperatures warm up, you can prune it back, and then the plant should recover. Choose a location with good drainage. That's the most important consideration. Roots that sit in water will rot and your plant will die. It will grow well in most soils. It needs plenty of sun to grow well. The ideal location is going to be lots of morning sunlight with some afternoon shade, especially if you live in a hot summer climate. The location you choose should have plenty of room. These plants can grow large. Allow 5 to 10 feet per plant. Both of these were planted 6 years ago. This one gets lots of morning sun, has grown very well. This one is shaded a lot of the day and has struggled a little bit. It's definitely not as happy. This is one of the easier plants to grow in my landscape. It's on drip irrigation and gets watered about once a week in the summer and much less often in the winter, usually about once a month. It's also relatively pest and disease free. You can prune to any shape or size. The best time to do it is when it's not actively growing. Harvesting is simple. Choose the largest leaves. They're going to have the most flavor. Wait to harvest until the plants are about 2 years old. Dry the leaves before using. I like to harvest a bunch, make a wreath, and hang it in the kitchen. When it's time to use it, I just pull one right off the wreath. Here's your tips if you're growing it in a container. Choose a container that holds at least 10 gallons of soil. Plant in regular potting mix. Choose a location outside with plenty of sunlight. Bay laurel plants grow slowly. It should last in that container for at least 5 years before you have to put it in a larger pot. Once nighttime temperatures are dipping below 50 degrees, bring your bay laurel inside. Put it in a location that gets lots of sunlight right next to a window. Take it back outside next spring when temperatures warm up. They don't require much feeding. I usually give it a little bit of compost at the beginning of each season. Thank you so much for watching. Keep your eye out for one of these plants.